This video is going to be a little different. It's basically going to be discussing what I like about retirement. And if that turns any of y'all off at the moment, feel free to skip, go to the next video, and return back to my automobile-related videos. But I thought this was important, something important to address. Throughout my entire working career, and by the way, I've been retired for 2 years now, but during my working career, I was always goal-oriented. I made a list of goals of what I wanted to accomplish, typically on a spreadsheet. So what I did the first couple of months of being retired was I sat around on my butt watching a lot of YouTube videos on how to fix this and how to fix that. The bottom line was nothing was getting done. It was entertaining, but I wasn't accomplishing anything towards what I had hoped to do during my retirement. So what I've done is I prepared 2 spreadsheets. The first being a daily list of goals, and the second one being an ongoing list of goals. Now, I'm not going to bore you all with every one of these details, but I'll just kind of skim over it quickly to give you my secret to what I feel is a very productive and satisfying retirement. On the ongoing goals spreadsheet, I've included items such as home improvement, car, garage projects, mowing the yard, visiting and helping friends, etc. On the daily goals, I try to accomplish 50 items each week. Now that may sound ambitious, but let me explain for a moment here. In order to start the day off on a positive note, my very first item on the list that I like to tick the box, and I have it listed from Monday through Sunday, the very first item is to wake up. I figure if I'm going to wake up, it's going to probably be a pretty good day. The next goal would be to read a chapter in the Bible daily. Measuring and recording my blood pressure is something that I've done daily, and my doctor has asked for it. And what I've noticed is that since retirement, the blood pressure has dropped significantly. I also feel that exercise is important. Again, you have to find a balance of everything. Don't overdo it in one area or the other. But with regard to exercise, I try to do something at least 30 minutes daily. And this would include either a 2-mile walk or 30 minutes on the elliptical machine or 30 minutes on the treadmill machine, things of that nature. Again, if you stop moving, you're going to start getting stiff and you're going to let the old man in. I also, one of my lifelong goals has been trying to eliminate clutter and being better organized. And this would include sorting through one's clothing. Obviously, when you retire, you don't have to have all the work clothes, etc. You basically wear comfortable clothes most of the time. And what I try to also incorporate in this is you buy one piece of clothing, you get rid of 2. But also the fact that the good clothing, of course, send it along to charity. There are plenty of people that would appreciate having what you have. I also enjoy doing a crossword puzzle. I'm not going to plug the particular one, but it's online. And I try to score over 2,000 points daily. If I don't, then I do it again until I score over 2,000 points. And it typically takes 5 or 10 minutes. But again, you're stimulating the brain. The other thing I enjoy doing daily is a game of chess, again, online. And I've managed to work myself up to the very bottom of the advanced level, which again is stimulating to the brain as far as learning strategies, etc. Now that one I typically have been losing about 9 out of 10 games, but that's okay. If you don't challenge yourself, you're not going to improve. I also feel reading is important, very important brain food. And I completed 2 or 3 books last year, and I'm presently reading 3 books right now simultaneously. Some people say, how can you do that? Well, I think I have undiagnosed ADD, as I like to read 2 or 3 pages out of each book, and I'm able to pick up where I left off very easily. I'm not into fiction. I like to read either history or books on maybe the life of Enzo Ferrari, books of that nature. The realization that life is finite and avoiding toxic people is something I've also realized has occurred over the last couple of years. My mother was the one who always said that one is judged by the company that one keeps. Simply put, I've had a belly full of negative thinking folks who constantly talk gossip or politics. Another item that has gotten easier as I get older is learning to say no. I once had a boss, and while he and I didn't necessarily see eye to eye all the time, he did help me realize that I do not have to go along to get along by always saying yes. Waking up when my body says it's time to wake up. Since I retired, I've now been consistently getting 7 or 8 hours of sleep nightly, and I feel infinitely better. Automobiles, flying, and sailing have always been passions of mine, and not necessarily in that order. Obviously, automobiles, sailing, and flying would be the order. But I have finally found time to carve out to be able to pursue these hobbies in greater depth. Flying, not so much due to the expense, but as you've seen from my YouTube videos, I'm finally documenting and completing many of the automobile projects. So in closing, I thank you for listening. If this resonates with any of y'all, please feel free to make a comment. Now I'll go back upstairs, change clothes, get back into my work clothes, and begin working on some interesting car projects, the stuff that most of y'all really want to see. Thank you for listening.